I've always loved the way music is represented with art in the ancient olden days, and it's always amazing in depicting some kind of magical correlationship that is somewhat felt today by much of us, but also lost in comparison to what it used to be in the power of singing with one person to 1 million people, and the differences with all of that. I have been fortunate to be in a band ever since pretty much the day I got a guitar when I was young. It's taken me all over the world, allowed me to create in the musical realm, and allowed me to experience things with writers and with crowds that just unfathomable, almost indescribable things where music connects with the body, the mind, and the spirit in ways that can't be described. Just absolutely shake you to the core, to do anything, just some of the most powerful moments you can fathom relating to music. And I've always loved it. It's been amazing. And so checking out these books, I found a book from 1590s by Philippus Galeus, and it's called In Praise of Music. And I'm going to translate it because it's absolutely incredible. And the artwork blew me away, and just I knew I had to translate it. And when I did, I discovered some really amazing connections between the divinity and power of music and the way they thought of it back then. So I translated the whole book. And then remember, i590 or 1590, who knows when this really is in relation to now. But I translated all 16 pages, and let's check it out because it's really amazing. So I did Google Translate, but it came up pretty good this time, so I'm pretty confident in it, and it sounds really awesome. So here we go. In Praise of Music. On the dignity and excellence of harmony in the art of music, philosophers differ everywhere. Another art, music of wisdom and a well-informed life, or of the Republic. They teach that they are well-ordered and most like them. Some famous musicians, to whom some divinity is attributed, are sung by poets, namely Orpheus, Amphion, and others, to mention the god of musicians, Apollo, with the whole dance of the Muses. There are certainly no historians who commended distinguished musicians in their writings, unfortunately, but that music soothes and soothes the mind, assuages anger, and cures various diseases of the mind and pains of the body, and is reported by various writers, and it is so obvious that there is no one ignorant of this, but one who has ears to Boeticians, who are actually 6th century Greeks. This is interesting. It is our aim, most civilized spectators, to place your present icons in monochromatic eyes on you with an honorable mention of the art of music in sacred literature. For when I observed that many solemnities of divine worship and public congratulations had been performed, and not without a symphony and a harmonious symphony, I considered it acceptable to you, if I should show you that by the theme of the song the musical apparatus of my features is to be observed, so that when the enjoyment of music has seized your ears, you may hold it in your hand, so that you may recreate the sense of sight by a certain rhythm of pleasure. Goodbye. So that is the intro for this book. Now get ready for the magic. So at the top it says, Encomium Musicae, in praise of music, which Philip Galeus concocted from sacred writings, was expressed by the most famous painter icons, Lo Stradon, the most learned Lo Boevius, the secretary of the city of Antwerp, illustrated in verse. Praise, this at the bottom, praise with the sound of the trumpet, praise with the psaltery and other parts, praise with the timbrel and dance, praise with the strings and organ, praise with on-high sounding cymbals, praise with jubilations on cymbals. Let every spirit praise the Lord. And then below that, the grandest and most accomplished D.D. Edvard van der Delft and Corlo Malineo of the city of Antwerp were consuls to Philip Galeus. What mortal were you and where when God laid the greatest foundations of the earth? And just as far as timber is released, how is the first chaos when the machine is distinct from its forms? When we praise all our stars, and the heavenly men, in their amazement, clung to the chorus, and the joyful attendants sang the winged jubilees. So it starts off with some unbelievable art and just amazing, godly, divine presence in music, and it really seems like it. In the organs, this goes with the cathedrals and organs healing the mind, body, and soul. Now he says, Isaacus, the great German prophet, rejoice with the yoke having been put aside. Give the timbrels to your mothers, and celebrate the death of the tyrant with me, Pharaoh, I'm not sure. Bring the other lyres, part the cymbals with songs. Let the innocent shallow sea and the waves give way. Let us sing the praises of God. So I'm not sure which he's taking from different sacred books from before this or whatnot. Was this time wasn't sacred? The i590, see, they're going back to the time before, which was thought of as more sacred. Unbelievable. A throng of prophets descends and meets Saul in the frantic manners of the fatidic poets. A flock beats the drums. It is sung, and on the harp the flute gives a double melody. By the same deity and by the divine, Saul's heart is full of voices, and he himself is numbered among the great prophets. So unbelievable. And he actually looks pretty big. Compare like those buildings that we see now and those doors in the size of these guys. And one of you in the comments mentioned giants singing in choirs and Gregorian chanting, trying to mimic it. And imagine how amazing the music of these people would have been. Unbelievable. Secure the neck of the Philistine tyrant. The king's young victor goes to the city of Sulimos, and when the mothers are brought back, they sing a token of victory. They fill their paths, these drums beat, that snail, the voice of one soul, one boy in one enemy. So that is something. I am not sure what is happening. There's heads, there's bodies. I think they might have been widows because they do look a little sad, and there's people coming back with things, and then music played in times of grief, in times of sorrow, coming like all the time, music. In this dress, the royal bard draws the Ark of the Covenant, performs the dances as a dancer, and is venerated as a city, and inserts into the sacred thrones of his country. The procession roars with the trumpets. The trumpet fills the air with the sound. The satirics sing the instruments of the bards, and the triple victim sprinkles the sacrificial knives. So what were they experiencing here? All the city involved, so many people, music just going. It probably bounced off of the buildings perfectly. The acoustics were probably phenomenal. They probably built it into the cities, into the architecture. Building mandates requiring your architecture to be perfect for the harmony of the town. Sounds like a fun time. King Solomon, accompanied by a large crowd of nobles belonging to the Edomite nation, executes the solemn procession in order. He gives incense to the hearth, to the strings, to the trumpets, resounds, and to the melodious crowd of earrings presses. Abramadon, and other mysteries of the covenant speak of the ark of the Holy Ghost, and store it on their shoulders and in the shrine. Wow, what is in that shrine? In every single one of those buildings and everywhere. What world is this depicting? What time is this? And how big are those people? He waits for 3 kings, and Elisha asks for the psalteries in his presence. The mad mind seizes the deity of the seer, unlocking the secrets of future events. The earth, he says, will not be the breeze of the Aeolians, nor will the earth be scattered by the rains, but the earth will immediately give a wave. That's not good. So I wonder if they're even soothsaying and predicting the future using the power of music. And music in combination with psychedelics, in particular mushrooms that were, I'm sure, found and discovered at these times and utilized for divinity, must have led to incredibleness. The captive King Asa renders oxen. He promises vows to God, but Litius, the Abramian tribe, stands by the loud voices, works the sacred vows and the oath, and secures the sacraments to the Lord with the highest trumpets. Music just played a part in everything. It almost sealed the deal with different royal decrees and everything. This is just all the different uses of music during the savage time when music was probably just ringing out through towns in harmony, people just uniting and just thought. Everything. They were all in harmony, and we have no idea what that's like as they try so hard to destroy that and do a great job at it. King Izesed is designated by the people as Ioas, the boy of 7 years, and the Times is filled with royal gold. The rooms are filled with great studio. The roofs resound with the roar, the hymns mingle with applause, and the sound of the trumpet is the tune of the ivory. Oh, God. The instruments, the sacredness, everyone involved, everyone knew that they had the power of music and participated in their own way. Just sound, naturalness, vibes, vibrations, frequencies going everywhere, healing, making everyone's life experience that much better. The people of Rome built a mass of works, the walls having been laid waste, and Rufus founded and dedicated the citadels built of the solymos. The sound of the inflated trumpet in the festive singing of the song that spring up around the dome. They redouble the walls, and others perform the ritual of purification with branches and strings. The ritual of purification. You could probably purify the body with sound. Sound baths. Some of the quote-unquote hippies tend to do that at festivals. Sound baths. They're amazing ideas. All these different frequencies, vibrations surrounding the body, healing it, making it feel incredible, godly. When fury fell upon its leader, one Syrian woman named Hebrew took off her head to the enemy. Boys, married girls, and unmarried girls sing in victory to the widow, part psalteries with a learned thumb, part smites the harp, and adjusts the symphonies. So they're just, everywhere. Every instance in time when music is needed to heal someone. These are all different ways we should use it now. Get away from the medical monstrosities and let's just use music. Start creating new and amazing instruments with our minds and our skills, and just use music in a much different way. Treat it better. We need to. Take away the empty images from afar. Knights of the gods, says the Duke priest, and let him return to the sacred rite in honor to God. Let the youth grow in a new song. Let them worship the altars of the ingress in plectrum, pick, with the palms of other branches, this summer of every year, and become mindful. The victory inspires the hymns. And that, I think, is a sign of the Great Awakening, and that is very relevant to now. Like, let that happen. Let all this, us rejoice. And when this moment happens, when the evil is finally eliminated, the songs and music we could all unite in harmony with would be unparalleled. The Church cultivates the divine worship in harmony with the arts and adorns the mysteries with various songs. The sweet horns of the sacred shrines ring with the multiple rhythm of voices. The Tyrrhenian pipe sings in the sky. Harmony delights the minds of discord. Music raises earthly minds to the sky. Now that is an amazing line. Music raises earthly minds to the sky. And it really does. And what does that signify that the sky is? What were the ancients telling us was up there? Like, is that the celestial spheres, the song of the spheres, the harmony of the spheres? What are we missing here? We need to discover all of this and the secrets. Greetings, a throng of old men sitting on the throne, worshiping the heavenly Lord, whose symphony with such a worthy dance persuades the sacred ears of the deity. Oh, if it were possible for me to play the strings with you in the sight of Superius, the bearded lamb present, like mine, and sing the praises of the king. And that is possibly the most perfect artwork to illustrate this final page here with the music, where they ask, what if we could see the God? What if we could see the divinities, the creator? What music would we play with that type of awe, that type of inspiration, that type of vision before us? Because music and visual parts are so linked. Music and sound and thought are so linked. It's why some people, when they have strokes or just if they're born differently, can only hear music. They can't hear talking. Music is just powerful. People can always sing. It's innate with us. Our body vibrates. Our whole frequencies, our water vibrates with good, amazing, sacred frequencies when we think pure and amazing, beautiful, godly thoughts and couple it with music. And I love how they're all playing harps, because one of the most amazing musical experiences I ever had was playing a harp. When my friend was harp sitting one time for a couple weeks, and I was in the zone for several hours, and I'd never touched a harp before, and it was the most amazing thing I've ever heard. It felt unparalleled. I was taken to another dimension, and that's happened many times with the power of music. You really can experience these things. You can represent, take people to different places, and imagery that it invokes is just something that music is the only thing that can do. Art, we are put here to create. And we are put here to experience harmony with one another and love and feel all those amazing things together as a world, as one. When we get to that point, and we will, everything will be perfect again, as it always has been and will be. Bless you all. And just for a last minute thought or theory, what if music really is the ethereal art? What if it pushes the ether around, it moves it around, it moves it into us, it activates the ether and allows us to feel the energy, and it correlates like magnetically or electronically, energetically with our body and our water and us as a conductor, and these buildings as a conductor, and just everything was in sync and magic, ethereal and perfect. Bless you all.